Okay, I'm going to show you a reset on trap that I caught a possum in this morning. As you can see right there, all my equipment, everything. This trap is located, there's a little ditch right in there that comes up. Travels about down here, about another 25 yards and cuts off into the big ditch down there. There's a road here that comes all the way up top, and there's a big mound up there of rocks blocking off the road. We see coyotes running all the time, and it's right here on this four-wheeler trail that we've got right in here. And we see coyotes running over here all the time, running up and down this hill and go up here on the spoil pile, and then go across on the other side of this, over on that side. There's some heavy pines up top, as you can see, and then you got some open woods down about over in here, and then you got some mowed, dug up fields right in front of there with roads that lead out to this big road. So I'll show you the remake and see if we catch anything else. Okay, so got my traps here. I have two traps here because for about 2 weeks I had something that kept coming in and messing with my 550 here. And all I'm gonna do is just get this my screens out of here, just so that they don't cause no problems. We'll have to get new ones probably. So I got a Minnesota brand 550 here and a Victor. Not really sure what number it is, but it's a Victor, obviously. So right here is my original trap bed, right in here, and right back here was my dirt hole. As you can see, pretty much covered up and gone. There was my backing, along with this little stick just to prop it up and give it some appeal. Get my shovel out here and do the back one first. Now I'll probably use this as a backing and just dirt to catch a peel. So as you see, we got a little bit of wax dirt that's still good there, but we're obviously going to have to add more. So you want this trap to bed nice and solid right in the middle there. As you see, we're going to have to do some moving and whatnot. So now I can dig myself out a little hole here that got filled back in. Well, you can use that little hole now, and I can try to set my chain in there, and I'll be able to get this guy in here firmly and get it bedded in nice and firm. Now, you can obviously use this dirt for packing, but we don't want to do that yet. We need to save for the packing. Get some of my new wax dirt and my peat moss and sprinkle it in here. I usually do enough to coat the bottom pretty good so it doesn't freeze up. Try to get all this other stuff here out of it, and looks like we're gonna have some problems there. So maybe we'll set it right about in here. So we're gonna have to pack in this corner over here. Try to keep the rocks out of it. Pretty rocky ground. Put it in. See how it beds first, and then go from there. So I see it's barely moving, but then you gotta worry about this here. They step down on this, they'll sense that immediately and back off. So take some of this dirt. Remember, try to keep the rocks out of it. I'll use this sifter here just to keep the rocks out of it. And we kind of want to get it mounted up right in there, everywhere. So we're going to have to move that forward. Get it pushed up in. Still move, so it looks like we're going to pack a little bit more in there. So once you get it going in there, see the sides working. It moves a little bit, so but that's fine for me. So now what I'm going to do is take some more of my peat moss and just sprinkle it over to make sure, you know, that this dry stuff, this wet stuff gets kind of dried up a little bit with this peat moss. And as you see, my trap a little dirty. So now I do this. And be very careful. My finger's underneath the jaw, so that if it does go off anyways, I ain't gonna get my finger, it's just gonna jump. Hear a distinctive click, like that there. Trap jumped a little bit, you just gotta reset it. Pack it down a little more. See, barely moves. Doesn't really move on the sides either. Take one of my trap pan covers here, which all I use, all I use for these is I just went to Lowe's and got a roll of screen for like $10, and you can cut them out to your trap size or whatever. See how that fits perfect right over there? Before that though, you always want to make sure that you antifreeze. Use antifreeze so your traps don't freeze up, especially when you're in temperatures here in PA where it's raining for the longest time, and then the next day it's like 25 degrees out at night and freezing and everything. Always do the hinges, and I always do on the dog a little bit. Always the springs in the back there, maybe a little bit out front since we packed dirt around it. Take your screen now, cover it over, and we have to get our sifter here. Grab ourselves a few hands of peat moss. It's gonna be, we need a few. Throw your dirt and whatnot off to the side. Your big stuff off to the side. Now you're gonna see, I'm gonna blend it in here some, but see how it's up a little bit high? You want it to be ground level, but you can't always, especially on the remakes, you can't always make it perfect. Sometimes happens to be that, yeah, dug it up pretty bad. So I'm going to find my pan first, which is right here. Then I'm just going to kind of right around it. Try to take all that high stuff on it. You want your pan to be the lowest point so that they step right on the pan where you want them to be. As you can see, my pan is right in here. Right there it is. Yep. And I just take a light duster and sprinkle it right back over. Now I'll grab some of this old dirt and everything, and we'll sprinkle it over the top to kind of blend it in. We'll use it as some siding there. Dig up here on the side. Doesn't have to be the best blend job, but make sure you get it blended enough that it still kind of looks natural. Or maybe like something was digging at it or something. Whatever you want it to look like. Now, I'll move back. Now, so here's my other set here. See, this is packed in pretty good. And I have to dig this one up a little bit. I should get my good hammer out for this since it's all clay. I'm gonna get that. Got the sod buster here. We're gonna cut ourselves in a little trap bed here. Let's see if we can get any of this. It's all clay underneath here. And this pan doesn't sit that level on this trap, which is why I'm making the bed a little bit deeper. Just so that it kind of sits more level. Set this trap here. See how it doesn't sit that level, but we're good. We'll make it work. Okay, so see, that's in there, that's in there. See, it's bedded pretty good besides the fact right here. We just have to push that back in a little bit. Again, bring over your peat moss. Grab a handful of it or so. Try to keep the grass out of it, especially the big grass. And then press your trap down in there, get it bedded in. Kind of moving on the sides here, so push some of this extra dirt down in there on the sides here. See, not moving that much. Actually, that ain't moving at all. So right there, that's a good set. I would adjust that pan, but I got it set already. So just pack a little bit extra there just to be safe. Again, take some of your loose peat moss here and throw it on the sides and stuff to make sure that it stays dry, but yet still sets off. There. Grab our pan covers once again. Take a glove here. Now grab one of the pan covers. You're gonna notice this, it's way high. It's uneven. Which that isn't good, but since you got a little time here and I have school stuff to do, I gotta get these sets in. If I catch something, make them fast and get out. And then take your sifter again. Grab a handful of peat moss and roll it out in there. Grab a handful again. Throw all your big stuff all out and off to the sides. You ain't gonna want it unless you're gonna use it as blocking or something. Clear this out. Find your pan, which we obviously know where it's at here, since it sits so much higher. And actually, I'm gonna take some of these big rocks we pulled out and put them here to get them not to step here. I'll just keep them away from right there. Get your pan sized out right there. And spread this around. There. Get it all out along them sides. Of course, grab some, fill in that little, there's a little hole there, and just barely cover it. Then we'll use this here to pat it down. See, it moves a little bit, but that's what we got that one there for. So if they feel this one and they try to come in from the side or something up there, they get in that one then. You're gonna take your stuff and you're gonna blend it right in. Now, one thing I forgot to do, now thinking about it, and I highly suggest you do that, is that you always don't ever forget your antifreeze, whether you're using flake or and or spray or whatever. So you want to get that off there carefully, because that can end up bad. So as you see right there, we can use this pine tree limb as a cider over here or something, whatever you want. And that's really a set. I put it right there because that's where I've left it always. Right there, actually right about in there. So you can step there, but then the next step they gotta step over. And now what I'm gonna do is make this look all, try to make it look all normal, like nothing was here. I mean, you're obviously still gonna get the catch circle from the other animal, but just take that and toss it over and try to make everything look normal again. I'll leave that sifter out. We're gonna do a little extra. And make sure you pick up all your trash. Very important. Trash. Always pick up your trash. Whether it's yours or somebody else's, make sure to always pick it up. It just helps save wildlife and everything. I'm just gonna grab a handful of grass here and take it through this sifter. And I don't know if it's gonna work since it's wet. And kind of try to blend it in a little bit here. It doesn't look like it, but take this over here, there, not that much there. See, still you want to kind of pull it apart, just so that makes it like look normal. We'll go with that right there. Put that grass there. It's like he wants to step there. We'll put that rock like that, right there. And then that will be your finished set with double traps. Okay, so now I gotta make my dirt hole since they filled it in pretty good. So we're gonna go about right there. I like it. And pound it in the ground here. There we go. Pound all your extra dirt out. Set that off to the side with your bucket and your stuff. And I don't use two different gloves for baiting, but what I'm gonna use in here is what I'm gonna use is Top Dog here by Hoosier Trapper Supply. And then we're gonna put a little bit of Caverns timber on there. See if that focuses there. Timber we'll put on there. So we'll do that then. I use sticks. I mean, everybody says not to, but I always use sticks. I don't find no problem with it. Always works for me. Got my 2 sticks here. I always like to take this, open it up. Oops, broke a stick off. Mix it up some. Make sure it gets all mixed up there. And glob up the stick with a good bit on it, about that much. And drop it right down in the hole. Shoot it right down in there. I'll put a little bit. There, I got some on my hands. Oh well. Put that down there, and then out of here, I'll grab my sheep's wool that I got here. Pull out a hunk of sheep's wool here. I'll take this stick, and I like to use it for a peel. So they don't see the bait, but they see that sheep's wool, and that gives them something to start digging after and keeps them in the set there for a little bit longer. Take this stick right here and prop it up like that so they don't just come right into the dirt hole. This is my second stick. Oops, don't dump that. And I'll take the timber here by Caverns. Take this little stick, a little bit of mix it up. Just a little bit there and rub it right there all over that. Actually, what I like to do is I rub it underneath just in case you get a storm or something. You know, it stays in there. And now I'll just take this stick here, leave it kind of right in there, so they don't want that. And Use that to kind of back it so you don't pull it out. And that right there is your full set